You were just a kid when it started. Maybe it was a grainy VHS tape your cousin brought over, showing two fighters in a dusty ring in Thailand, throwing knees and elbows like lightning. Or maybe it was that one highlight reel on YouTube. Slow motion sweat flying as a shin cracked into a rib. Whatever it was, it hooked you. Other kids were obsessed with superheroes or football stars. You pressed your face to the screen, watching men wrapped in Mongkon headbands move like warriors from another world. You shadowboxed in your bedroom, mimicking the stance. You tried to copy the Y Crew dance, even though you didn't understand it. While your classmates doodled cartoons in their notebooks, you scribbled Thai words you didn't even know how to pronounce. And you had an idol, a fighter whose face was plastered across your walls. You studied his fights like sacred texts. Every kick he landed, every elbow he cut open an opponent with. You wanted that. You wanted to be him. It wasn't a dream for you, it was an obsession. When you first stepped into a Muay Thai gym, the air itself felt heavier. The smell of sweat, leather and liniment oil hit you in the face. Fighters with scarred shins, hammered pads, the sound echoing like gunshots. You froze, but inside, something said, "This is where I belong." The coach didn't treat you like a kid chasing a fantasy. He tossed you gloves, pointed to the bag and barked, "Kick." You kicked. It hurt. Your shin burned, but you smiled through it. Day after day you came back. While friends spent weekends at malls, you wrapped your hands, skipping rope until your calves screamed. You learned quickly that Muay Thai wasn't a sport. It was a grind, a religion of pain. And the more it hurt, the deeper you fell in love. Training wasn't just exercise. It was war on your own body. Wake up at 5 a.m., run miles before the sun rose. Come back, smash pads, then spar. Afternoon, do it all over again. You were a teenager, but your life didn't look like one. No parties, no sleepovers, no easy summers. Just bruises stacked on bruises. Your shins bled, your nose broke, but the coach just nodded. Good, you're learning. You idol on the wall. He became less of a poster and more of a ghost haunting you. Push harder. Don't quit. You didn't. Because to you, pain was just another language, and you were becoming fluent. Your first fight wasn't glamorous. The ring ropes were frayed. The mat smelled like 10 years of spilled sweat and blood. And the crowd wasn't an arena. It was a handful of gamblers shouting, slapping crumpled bills. When the bell rang, fear clamped your chest. The other kid across from you looked just as scared. But when he kicked, the thud echoed in your ribs. You wanted to run, but your legs rooted themselves. Round by round, instinct took over. You threw a jab, a kick, a wild elbow. Some landed, some didn't. By the end, your arms hung like weights. The ref lifted your opponent's hand. You lost. You cried in the locker room, head buried in your gloves. But your coach just smirked. Good. Now you know what it feels like. Losing didn't push you away. It pulled you deeper. You wanted revenge. On him, on yourself, on the weakness you saw in the mirror. So, you trained harder. Harder than your body allowed. Victories came, but so did scars. You won fights. Crowds cheered. Sometimes your hand was raised, sometimes it wasn't. but each battle carved pieces out of you. Your knuckles swelled like balloons. Your shins became slabs of dead nerve. Scar tissue grew above your eyes like permanent reminders. You taped them before fights, hoping they wouldn't split again. And the money? Forget about it. Unless you were a superstar, the cash was laughable. A broken rib paid less than a week at a coffee shop. Sometimes you left the ring with nothing but a plastic trophy and a handshake. Meanwhile, friends from school went to college. They got jobs, girlfriends, stability. You got another concussion, another cracked rib, another night staring at the ceiling, wondering if you'd even remember your own name in 10 years. But you couldn't quit. Because by then, Muay Thai wasn't a sport. It was the only identity you had left. One day, the fights slowed down. Injuries piled up. Your body said no more often than yes. But bills didn't care. Hunger didn't care. You were broke. Fighting wasn't paying rent. So you did what many forgotten fighters do. You became a trainer. You taped bags in a small gym, teaching kids how to jab, how to block, how to throw the perfect roundhouse. You smiled for them, but inside, you felt the sting. Watching them chase the same dream you had, bright-eyed, clueless about the cost. Sometimes you skipped meals so the gym's electricity bill could get paid. Sometimes you slept on the floor of the gym itself, the mat, your bed. Survival wasn't glamorous. Survival was humiliating. But still you wrapped your hands every day. Still you ran the morning roads. Because once Muay Thai dug into your soul, it never let go. People forgot you. The same ones who cheered for your wins didn't remember your name. The posters with your face faded. New kids came. Younger, faster, hungrier. You stood in their corner, shouting advice. They fought the way you once did, reckless and on fire. Some won, some lost. Either way, they went home proud. You went home tired, alone, with joints that screamed when you climbed the stairs, with headaches that lingered for days. Sometimes you caught your reflection in the mirror. Not the warrior on posters. Just a man with scars nobody cared about. And yet, you kept teaching. Because if you stopped, who were you? Nothing. At night, the ghosts visited. Flashbacks of fights you should have won. Faces of opponents who beat you. Memories of crowds roaring your name, then silence when it was all over. You remembered your idol, the one who first lit the fire in you. You wondered if he felt the same. Forgotten, broken, teaching kids just to survive. Your students called you coach. They looked at you like you were still a hero. You smiled back, but deep down, you felt like a fraud. Because you knew what they didn't. That every punch, every kick, every sacrifice led you here. Broke, forgotten, teaching others to chase the same pain. But you taught anyway, because maybe, just maybe, you wanted them to do what you couldn't, find a way out. Years passed. You weren't in shape anymore. Your body carried the weight of every fight. But every morning, you still heard the bell in your head. The truth is, Muay Thai gave you everything. It gave you purpose, pride, a warrior's spirit. But it also took everything. Health, money, time, relationships. You started as a kid with a poster on his wall, dreaming of greatness. You ended as a man teaching kids how to throw a jab, fighting just to pay bills. And when people ask you if you regret it, you don't answer. Because the truth is complicated. But if you're honest, if you strip away the pride, the scars, the stubbornness, there's only one answer. That's why it sucks to be a Muay Thai fighter.